Thank you for giving Laura and me a chance to come to this historic hall.
President Bush speaking in Lower Manhattan on the site once used for the first meeting of the U.S. Congress over 200 years ago. On the eve of hosting a unique meeting of 20 global economic powers in Washington, Mr. Bush chose Wall Street to spell out the summit's objectives.
Understanding the causes of the global crisis, reviewing the effectiveness of our responses thus far, developing principles for reforming our financial and regulatory systems.
Mr. Bush said the G20 must try strengthening the global economy long term by discussing things like better transparency, greater regulation, improved integrity, and enhanced international cooperation.
We will discuss specific actions we can take to implement these principles.
And despite the present crisis, Mr. Bush delivered a robust defense of free market capitalism.
Free markets allow South Korea to make itself into one of the most technologically advanced societies in the world. Free markets turn small areas like Singapore and Hong Kong and Taiwan into global economic players.
After Bush spoke, Wall Street rallied strongly, with the Dow Industrial shooting up over 200 points. It had earlier slipped below 8,000 for the first time in 5 years. While the president was asking the world for patience in New York, there was little patience on display in Washington, where the chairman of the powerful Senate Banking Committee, Chris Dodd, was questioning the use of the $700 billion bank bailout scheme when what's really needed, he said, is help for homeowners.
It is still confounding to me why the Secretary of the Treasury and others refuse to understand this is the heart of the problem. The foreclosure crisis is the root cause of the larger financial crisis.
There's a certain irony that President Bush chose historic Federal Hall on Wall Street to call on the G20 leaders not to abandon capitalism as they struggle to redefine the global economic order. It was here where many of the problems now being faced by the world economy started or were encouraged. It's not at all clear the leaders who'll be attending Washington this weekend are quite so sold on the idea as Mr. Bush appears to be. Terrett, Al Jazeera, New York.